Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question was submitted by a viewer, thanks to Mario Falcone for this one. Amy controls Kalamax, which is equipped with Paradise Mantle. She taps it for the mana in order to cast Lightning Bolt, which is her first spell that she's played this turn. Is the Lightning Bolt copied? Alright, so first of all, if Amy is really concerned that she wants this trick to work out, she could of course tap the Kalamax for a red mana, float that mana, and then use it to cast the Lightning Bolt. There would be no doubt in anybody's mind that the Kalamax was tapped during the entire process of casting Lightning Bolt in this situation, which means that nobody would doubt that the Lightning Bolt should get copied in this instance. However, it turns out that this trick isn't even necessary. The way the steps for casting a spell work mean that no matter how Amy taps the Kalamax for mana during the process of casting Lightning Bolt, the game should still see Kalamax being tapped during the time when it checks for its triggered ability. To see exactly how this works, recall that when you have a triggered ability that triggers when a spell is cast, what that triggered ability actually looks for is the time immediately after all the steps for casting a spell have been completed. In other words, immediately after the costs for that spell have been paid. Now, the time when you pay those costs is immediately preceded by a time when you get to activate mana abilities. So, when you tap the Kalamax for mana, you would be tapping it during that time, and then use the red mana to pay the costs, and only then does the game consider the spell to have been cast, which is the time when that triggered ability would trigger. Now, one other thing that's kind of interesting that I thought about when I was writing up the script for this episode is that the triggered ability from Kalamax has an intervening if clause. In layman's terms, that means there's an if statement in between the trigger condition and the thing that the triggered ability does. This is significant because triggered abilities with an intervening if clause check to see if the if clause is true at two specific times, when the triggered ability triggers and when the triggered ability is about to go onto the stack. What that means is that if Amy's opponent had something like a twiddle or similar type of effect, they could use that twiddle in response to the Kalamax's ability. Now, they could untap the Kalamax with that twiddle, and that would mean that when the intervening if clause checks when it's about to resolve, to see if Kalamax is tapped, the game will find that Kalamax is in fact untapped at this time, which means that the triggered ability will do nothing and just be removed from the stack. Pretty interesting counter if your friends have a really annoying Kalamax deck. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again tomorrow for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.